So, Goldar, you have returned. I assume this means you have the girl. Yes, oh fiendish one. We grabbed her right off the beach. Excellent. Perhaps you have a brain after all. And the instructions, where's the bottle? Well, I lost it in the battle. In the what? The battle with the little girl? Oh, poor Goldar. It must have been furious. I should make soup out of you. What's up, you guys? Let me tell you about Season 2 of Power Rangers. Season 2 is awesome, man. Awesome. I love it. Season 2 equals my childhood. Like, I used to watch the episodes from that season all the freaking time. Just, oh, my nostalgia goggles are on point when it comes to Season 2, alright? You can't tell me nothing about that. Don't ever fix your mouth to say something bad about Season 2 in my presence, alright? We will have to fight. We will have to put the fisticuffs up. Come on, let's do it, alright? First of all, this season gave us Lord Zedd. Lord Zedd is my favorite Power Ranger villain of all time. I love Lord Zedd. He is awesome. Like, his costume looks great with the brains sticking out in the crowd and the fluids running all through his body. That looks awesome. And like, he glows red when he's angry, and his personality is just, everything about him is great, and he shoots the lightning out all the time. Oh gosh, and of course he's magic, so you know me, I love the magic stuff. Lord Zedd, like, everything about Lord Zedd is great. Like, come on. Like, oh, and I love how he transformed the Moon Palace when he showed up. Like, Lord Zedd's Moon Palace looks badass. Like, he puts Rita's to shame. Like, seriously. And I loved how when he showed up and he just cast Rita out like she was nothing. Like, that was freaking awesome. Like, come on now. I don't know many Power Ranger fans who hate Lord Zedd. I don't know. I mean, if you exist, tell me, but I've never heard of them. At most, I've heard of fans that like Lord Zedd more in the beginning of Season 2 because he was crazy evil and always snapping at people. Whereas, like, later Season 2 and especially in Season 3, like, once he was married to Rita, he became more comedic, I guess. He made a lot of jokes, and, you know, some people, like I heard on Ranger Boy, they used to call him Pussy Zedd back in the day. But I like both Zeds. I like evil, crazy Zedd, and I like evil but lighthearted, comedic joking Zedd. You know, I like them both. So now let's talk the Z Putties. Like, the Z Putties look cool, alright? I never liked the Season 1 Putties. Like, they just looked ugly to me. The Z Putties, like, they look cool. I liked all the Z's on them. And yeah, like, hit them in that big old Z on their chest. Yeah, that is stupid, I guess. But it looked so cool when the Rangers hit them. Like, they hit them and then they were breaking a billion pieces. Like, how could you not think that looked cool? Like, it was great. Oh my gosh. And the Z Putty fights, like, come on. I lived for those fights as a kid. I lived for them. Like, they were the best part of watching a Power Ranger episode. Come on. All that unmorphed action. Come on. Favorite, like, Z Putty fights, the one in Zedd's Waves and the one in White Light Part 1. Oh my gosh. At the end where Kimberly and Billy, like, they both kicked that putty at the same time. Oh my god, the nostalgia right now. Moving on to the Zords. The Thunder Zords are some of my favorite Zords of all time. Like, I love them, man. They're beautiful. Especially the Tyrannosaurus Red Dragon. Oh, that thing is beautiful. Oh. And of course, the Tiger Zord too. I love the Tiger Zord, man. Oh, yes. And yes. Season 2 gave us the White Ranger. Like, this is the season where the Green Ranger lost his powers completely, and then he became the White one. And, you know, Tommy is my favorite Ranger of all time, period, no matter what color he's in. But White is my favorite of him, because, you know, the nostalgia and all that. So, yeah. And, you know, I like felines a lot, and he had, a talking tiger sword. Like, Saba is my favorite Power Ranger weapon. Like, come on. Who wouldn't love a talking tiger sword? Like, come on. Also, this is the season that gave us 3 new Rangers in Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. And I heard that a lot of, like, old school Power Ranger fans, when they were kids, they didn't like this because, you know, they got rid of Jason, Zach, and Trainee. So they actually quit watching the show because of this. You know, this didn't affect me because, like, you may know that I got into this show, like, a little late. Like, I didn't become, like, a super duper fan until, like, 1998. So I used to watch all this stuff, like, out of order. So I was I was used to this. I thought this was the norm to have like different Rangers all the time. I thought that was normal, so it didn't affect me like at all. And personally, when I think of Power Rangers, I think of, like, the first thing I think of when somebody says Power Rangers, I think of Rocky, Adam, Aisha, Tommy, Billy, and Kimberly. Those are the 6 that I think of because I used to watch season 2 so much. Those are the Rangers. That's the #1 team, like, for me, you know. Oh, it's a little weird because most people, you know, they think of the original 6, but I'm different in that aspect. I will say that they did a pretty good job in showing why Rocky, Adam, and Aisha were perfect candidates in becoming Power Rangers. They showed how, you know, good their heart was and how skilled they were in martial arts. Like, they did a good job setting it up, you know, with what they had to do, especially because, you know, the actors for Jason, Zach, and Trini had left, but they were still Power Rangers in the show. And they had all these stunt doubles in there, like, they never showed their face, all they had them, like, back turned and stuff. And then when they were showing their face, they were using old stock footage of the Rangers. And Zach kept switching from having braids to having an afro again, like, okay. Okay, now let's talk about the 3 new Rangers that we got in this season. Okay, first up, Aisha. Now, yes, I know that she is the Black Kimberly, basically. I'll admit that. I know. And yes, I know she replaced Trini as Kimberly's best friend in like 2 seconds. I know this. But I still like Aisha. I liked her. I don't know. I mean, I like the Valley Girl theme for Kimberly, so why wouldn't I like it for Aisha, even if it's the same thing? But, you know, Aisha kind of had a different flavor to it in her own way. So, yeah. And she was pretty. Whatever. Sue me, alright? I like Aisha. Next, Adam. Now, he was like the shy one of the group, you could say, and he was kind of in the background a lot, you know. But I liked Adam. Like, out of the 3 new ones we got, I think I liked him the most. And actually, he was the one that I related to the most out of that team, you know. I was shy, too. I was in the background, too, when I was younger. So, relatable. And, you know, Adam was also, you know, he was smart, but like normal smart, you know, the smart that you can relate to, not the unrealistically, there's no way you should be able to do this smart that Billy was. So, so I can relate to Adam, you know, a lot. Okay, now Rocky. He was the one that they focused on the least in season 2. Like, I liked him, but it's not like they did that much with him, you know. So yeah, I know, you check back with Zeo for Rocky. I mean, shoot, gee, Rocky was kind of like a goofball in Zeo, but like season 2 he didn't really do much. He kind of got more focused episodes in season 3, but still, like, he was there. I did like his fight scenes though. Like, I was rewatching some season 2, and like when he was fighting the putties, like he would use like brute force. You know, it would be awesome. Like, he would boom, boom. Like, I love that. So there's something. To me, one of the crowning moments of season 2 is when Lord Zed and Rita got married. Like, seriously, like, you take 2 evil head villains and you make them get married and have a Jewish wedding at that. Like, it was just so surreal and awesome, and I loved it. And honestly, I really think that the marriage of Lord Zed and Rita is one of the greatest things that Power Rangers has ever done. Like, my kid self loved to watch Lord Zed and Rita do like these antics together. Like, they were the best. They were so entertaining together. I really think that it was just a great move for them to make them marry. It's just awesome. Those 2 together are like the best freaking villains ever, in my opinion, of course. So, awesome. Okay, now let me address the thing that a lot of people don't like about season 2. And that would be the editing. Okay, like in Zord fights and stuff. Like, in some cases the editing wasn't the best. Cause they, you know, they were mixing like 2 different Sentai series together. Like a monster from Jew Ranger or Jew 2 footage. Like, I'm sure a lot of people know the story on that. And they were mixing that footage with Die Ranger footage. So, some, like, Die Ranger Zord footage with Jew Ranger monsters. So, sometimes it didn't look the best. Sometimes they got it, you know, alright, I can deal with that. And sometimes it's just like, okay, that is clearly the original Megazord. Sitting right there. Like, the ninja encounter is just the worst. That fight with what was that monster that the Hatchosaurus, when the Hatchosaurus was remade, and that is just my God, like how, like I don't even want to talk about it. Point is, that is a flaw in this season. I admit it. I see it there. Nostalgia goggles or not, I see that. But you know, it doesn't bother me as much. And yes, also there's the thing, like a lot of the episodes, like the Rangers just fought the putties all day. Even when they morphed, they fought the putties, and they didn't fight the monster, like, you know, on the ground as Rangers. And yeah, that is kind of bothersome at times. I would have loved to see them fight. Like, key point, like the episode with Skelerina and the Mirror Regret. I would have loved to see the Rangers fight Skelerina, especially because they were saying, oh, Skelerina is just so tough. She's kicking our butt. Skelerina wasn't doing shit in that whole episode but laughing. So I don't. But still though, it is a valid complaint, but it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people, because in the end of the day, the writing was really good in season 2. Like, it was an improvement over season 1's writing. Like, the jokes were better in season 2, and it just felt like more dangerous with season. Like, Lord Zed just came off as a more competent villain, and these Rangers, they really need to watch out for him. So I just love season 2. And as you may have gathered, I do love season 2 like way more than season 1. But but you know, they're both on my top 10 favorite list. You know, season 2 is just a little bit higher. That's all.